Anonymous with creating show gardens that transport us to foreign climes, and this year he's taking us on a trip to Nepal. But before Nick Bailey joins him on his garden, let's see how Jonathan got on one of his research trips.
My passion has always been about showing plants growing in the natural environment. I want to distill the best qualities of the Himalayas and distill that into my little 22 by 10 metre plot at Chelsea. It's really important that the garden feels authentic. I don't want it to feel like a sort of a themed garden. I want to do justice to the incredible range of plants that you see there, the landscape and also the culture of the region. The climate that I'm trying to capture, it's quite warm, it never gets cold, it's temperate basically. It rains a lot. I was looking online for plants and I was just doing some research and I was looking for one particular plant and it led me to an article, and that article was all about a nursery called Craigieburn, which is here in Scotland. Actually, we found that Scotland, particularly the west coast, has a fairly similar climate, and there are a surprising number of Himalayan gardens or gardens with Himalayan plants in them. Well, the garden, I think, is created jointly by the owner, Janet, and her friend Dawa. 25 years ago, Janet was out in the Himalayas plant hunting, and Dawa was assigned to be her guide and to look after her. Janet fell into a river, and Dawa jumped in and saved her life.
He always says that he saves me. Actually, I think he did something which was rather more heroic, which was, I think there was a moment when he knew we were both going to go into that river, and he wasn't going to let me do it alone. Okay. We've been friends for 25 years now. When Dawa came over and started just to help me with little jobs, I realised sort of straight away that he was more than just a natural.
When you are working together, you get a laugh and you get argument and you get angry and sometimes you get very happy. We love each other.
I mean, we do sort of strike sparks off each other, I've got to say, but I think it's a funny relationship, but it works. We come together and something really good comes out of it.
Right. Adele, I was last here 2 years ago. Can you show me around? This was all forest before?
Yes, it's completely wild and forest and bramble and nettle and ash tree seedling, all forest.
This is your clover, isn't it?
Himalayan.
Yeah, this is Parachutes Common, isn't it? I'm using this in the garden. We got it from you.
Yes, and this is a great plant for poor soil, for dry places, for banking cover, good for ground cover.
I brought along this model because you're the best person to ask whether this looks authentic and whether you think this would be a good representation of the Himalayan foothills.
I really love it.
Great.
This looks fantastic.
I want to create a sort of covered walkway by planting the rhododendrons quite high so that you can walk down the stone path and under them. I've got a shelter here, which it's inspired by the features that you see in the region, and then either side, the little small houses you can see are water-driven prayer wheels.
That's fantastic. Yes, our older people is over 70, 80. They always sit down where is the prayer wheel.
That's actually quite lucky because I wasn't
lucky.
Yeah, that's lucky that I put them right there because I hadn't thought about the older people sitting down. Do I have enough prayer flags?
More for that.
Okay.
If you run out, I do have a prayer flag. I will give it to you, and good luck for you, good luck for me. There's nothing wrong. We can put more prayer flags.
More prayer flags.
More
right.
good luck. Yes.
I'm feeling quite nervous about the plants I'm using for September. The garden normally has around about 4,000 plants in it, and because of the change from May to September, we've had to scrap 3,500 of those plants. In terms of flowering, bang on last week of September, it's a step into the unknown, yeah.
Jonathan, fantastic to see you back at Chelsea. Glorious garden as ever.
Do you feel you've achieved your goal of sort of establishing that essence of the Himalayan foothills?
Well, we'll know on Tuesday morning for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's gone really well. I've enjoyed it. Throughout the last 3 weeks, I've tried to select the best bits of the Himalayas that I've seen, distill them down to their best qualities, and then very slightly amplify wherever needed, just to sort of enhance the effect of it. And I feel that we've more or less achieved that. So we'll find out if that's the case in a few days' time.
Fantastic. Now understand that despite the fact you've got this huge range of plants, you had to effectively get rid of a whole load of your plants and start over because of the change of seasons.
That's right, yeah. I mean, we had, we probably scrapped about 80% of the plant list.
Wow.
Wow. Primulas, Necronopsis, Cardioquinum, Regersias, all gone, and we very nearly didn't go ahead this September because I wasn't sure if we could find enough flowering plants for September, but we did.
Wow, wow. I mean, what's interesting looking across the garden, these are all species, of course, that come from the Himalaya.
That's right, yes.
But they're also plants that a lot of people will see growing in their home gardens.
That's right. Well, that's 3 gardens I've done at Chelsea have always been about showing plants that people know quite well growing in their natural habitat. And the Himalayas is no exception. So people hopefully will recognise Persicarias and Hypericum and rhododendrons, but put all together, just showing where they like to grow in the wild.
I mean, I can see you've got a few plants here that, of course, have been growing on the Himalaya for tens of thousands of years,
yes,
but are incredibly trendy right now. So I'm seeing Scheffleras tucked away,
yes,
and Aurelias tucked away in the garden.
Right, yes, there's an Aurelia just there, and a few more dotted through there, like little sort of umbrellas. Scheffler is at the front, it's a real sort of plantsman's paradise in the Himalayas. There's so much there, and I've only really scratched the surface of what's available.
I guess for all the exoticism, the look of a lot of these plants, even this ginger in front of me looks wildly tropical.
Yeah.
Yet they can grow quite happily in our climes.
Yes. When I was out there, we were out there actually 2 years ago researching, back in the days when you could go out and research. This is exactly the combination. You know, the plants that we know quite well, like Persicarias, growing alongside all the tropical, because the altitude goes from 2,000 to 4,000 metres. That's the area that this garden's set in, and at 2,000 metres it's warm and it's wet. 4,000 metres it's more like it is today, a bit cooler, but they do grow naturally together, and that's the combination I wanted to achieve with this garden.
Fantastic. Well, it looks truly superb. I think you've done a fantastic job as ever, and good luck with the medals.
Thanks, Nick.
Well, Jonathan certainly knows